Well, there's a part of this where I don't know if it's listeners or your boss where they want you to be mad at everything, just be mad all the time. And I think when I was 20 years younger, I know that was sort of more my speed. And now I just never want to be mad because it's all just dumb. It's all just sports, like whatever. But I don't know. Are we about to be friends? Like, how did Lindy lose? I'm waiting. Like, how did he lose? Coach of the year, I know. We're about to be friends because he's the Sabres coach. And this is maybe like the first time you've ever heard me sort of like not poke at why Buffalo shouldn't have won something. You know, a lot of you want me to, maybe not me, but get mad at announcers who aren't more friendly toward the Bills and Sabres, which I think is just like ridiculous. I don't know. I'm spinning my wheels here. Like, I don't know how he lost. Coach of the year in sports is pretty much a junk award. It should be better. It even maybe, can you show me this? I don't think so. It even maybe should be more like this. Like there's sort of a, let's really try this time for the first time in the history of Coach of the Year. Let's really actually figure out if it's possible to do so, what the best coaching job was. How do you do that, though? Hockey, I mean, every sport. Look up Coach of the Year in hockey. It's hilarious. Like, it's just, who's this guy? Who's that? Wow, what happened? Last year, the winner of Coach of the Year was Washington's coach. And, I don't know, couldn't get them to the playoffs. I mean, just, it's usually kind of a joke award. But, yes, I bet on it. I want to make sure I say that because somebody's going to remind me. I hadn't spent the money yet. I don't get it. I don't understand how Cooper wins. I don't understand it at all. Give me one box that he checked that Lindy Ruff did not check. This award in every sport, and hockey is the stupidest for this because hockey people seem to think, I mean, I know some of them, they seem to think they can understand hockey in a way that is not possible. This is the stupidest sport for this award because basically if you get the best shooting percentage and save percentage, you win. As long as we didn't think your team was going to be good, in which case we will try to find someone else who maybe finished second in those categories, who was the second best PDO coach, combination of those two fluke stats, and we'll vote for him because, the other team, like Avalanche. Why did the Avalanche coach win? Weren't they the best team all year? Like, why didn't Bednar win? Anybody know? Like, why didn't he win? What did Jon Cooper do that was so special? I'm really at a loss. When somebody on a broadcast says unbelievable, I roll my eyes because almost everything I've ever seen in sports was believable. Like that's not one of my words. That's not in my lexicon. Unbelievable sucks because basically just exposes you as somebody that doesn't really think that well. Unbelievable. This, though, is pretty close. I don't understand how you could vote for him. You have one team that has always been good, has a Hart Trophy candidate, has a Vezina Trophy favorite, has Victor Hedman, need I say more? Like, one of these teams is always good, which pretty much in sports tends to disqualify a coach from winning Coach of the Year. And another hadn't been to the playoffs in 15 years and beat them on the path to topping them in the division. I don't know. Did the broadcasters vote on this thing in like December? I don't understand. Didn't I just do sort of the Rob Schneider stand up and win SNL line in the last couple of days? Like, who are the that's Adam Sandler. Can somebody explain this to me? Because I'd like to know. I just have no idea how he got any first place votes. Why? Tell me. I don't need the money. It's okay. This is not a. Now this sucks for me because I have to keep saying that because I sound just like I just sound like a bitter loser on a bet, I guess, to some people. But I pragmatically, I really cannot understand how anybody voted for Jon Cooper to win the NHL Coach of the Year award, Jack Adams. How, on what grounds? Why wouldn't you vote for the Avs guy? Or Montreal? Or, well, Pittsburgh's coach was a finalist. Or Rod Brindamore. Like, what? How did this happen? Nobody's going to tell me because nobody can explain it. What am I waiting for? Nobody knows this answer. There isn't one. It happened, though. Wow. There's the tweet. There's Jon Cooper. He's got a cigar. He's at a hospital. Like I'm sure that was all just completely nothing against people, serving the public in that way, but that was all just a coincidence. I don't get it. That's a team that was expected to finish in the top 2 in the division and did. Second. The Sabres have never been good. How was this? What did we do wrong? How was this the one year where that award doesn't go as expected? Actually, let me make this, I'll try to make it interesting. Who was responsible for the Sabres' success then? Is there a GM of the Year award waiting to fall into Yarmo's lap? Or, I don't know, Kevin Adams? Dahlin was a distant third in the Norris. Who did it? Anybody? Who did it? I guess it wasn't their best player or their coach. Because I got Columbus's defenseman lapping Dahlin for the Norris. Fine. I'm not saying that was wrong. That's one. I mean, I don't watch Columbus Blue Jackets games. Do you? Let's be real. That's one where I can believe it. Sure. Dahlin doesn't have to be the best defenseman of the year in the National Hockey League. But since when did we change the rules on Coach of the Year in sports? For my whole life, the supposed best coaches don't win these awards. Why? Because some other loser team got good one time, and so the people who actually are supposed to know things, who vote on this, decided that, it wasn't turnover luck, it wasn't shooting percentage, it wasn't ref calls. It had to be that the coach did this culture. It had to be this incredible coaching job, and then the guy's fired in 2 years. I mean, these are the people who are tasked with this. I like to see myself as one of them to a point where I care about who did a good job and not. I think it's ridiculous sometimes how these votes fall. And if I were ever in one of these rooms, and I've been in a couple and I get, shouted down and kicked out. I've been in a couple of these because people just don't want to hear it. It's basically you're kind of calling them out. I don't know. This to me does not make sense. Who wins a Coach of the Year award running a perennially top team that finishes second to a team that has never been good, whose coach, by the way, has won this award and even finished second 3 years ago? He's not a nobody, Ruff. Is that something that was discounted? The fact that he's maybe fourth all time in wins in the NHL, in NHL history? Did that work against him? Was he sort of lifetime achievement? Did Ruff already kind of come and go from lifetime achievement? And you've got a Tampa coach with a cigar whose Canada team lost and whose Lightning lost and who lost in the first round. And what is good coaching? I think it's incredible. I really do. And if the Sabres had been bad again, maybe this happened in the last 10 years or 15 years, and the Jack Adams Award went to some other, this does not happen though, went to some other coach who has been around a long time and has won a lot. And, even though some other team leapfrogged him that was kind of unexpected, well, we know from, this never happens. Certain metrics, we know how to think this through. We're not dogs. We can figure these things out. We know what good coaching comes close to looking like. I think it's astonishing. I can't believe it. I'm going to have to sell some cards. I don't know. I did not spend the money, but I'm going to have to do. I was counting on it. I thought, 7-1, Lindy Ruff. I thought that was looking pretty good, and what a rug pull. I don't know what else to say. Bulldog's in the hospital. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I cannot believe it. JJ is on WGR. You take it.
Yeah, I don't always agree with everything said on this show, but I'll say this.
No one should.
Not be more. You could.
Why would anybody agree with everything?
Exactly. That's the joy of it, right? The thing that really hits my buttons on this is as soon as everything turned around to the positive for the Sabres this year, the entire league, the theme driven into just about everybody's head almost every day was, the Sabres haven't made the playoffs since, 1698, and like this building theme throughout the year. And then they win the division and you keep hearing it. And then every game in the playoffs, we're hearing, they haven't won a playoff game since, 2000, whatever, every 5 minutes we're hearing this, right? And then, so the theme has been building. This decision is countercurrent to that, right? I mean, it's blatantly against the theme that the league itself was building, and the coverage and all this stuff. And it's like, it could not have been more concrete and driven home just about every time the Sabres touched them. I don't know. That's what really hits me is like, this goes countercurrent to the whole momentum of the whole, coverage of the Sabres run this whole time, right?
Fair enough. The playoffs don't count. Again, like sort of practically speaking here, we know this, I hope. The vote is in before the playoffs start. Yes, that was definitely a storyline. So what? Like the playoffs don't count. What needed to happen that didn't happen? I'm flabbergasted. A team that has been nowhere forever tops a perennial favorite, and that guy wins? What does it take? Did the Sabres need to beat Tampa Bay by 20 points? Did they need to beat them 4 straight? They went 3-0-1. What needed to happen that didn't happen? I don't know. The Sabres won one of the best and most competitive divisions in the history of the NHL. And they beat Tampa to do it. And they had to beat them head-to-head repeatedly in March and even maybe April to pull it off. And they did that. What needed to happen that didn't happen? The playoffs are irrelevant. The vote is in before the playoffs. The playoffs are fine. The Sabres won a round. The Lightning did not. As if, if that could have helped, so be it. It didn't matter to this. What was wrong? What happened? I don't understand. Did the Sabres trade for Connor Hellebuck and ride him to the Atlantic Division title where Tampa Bay had to settle for Vasilevsky? No. It's amazing. It's amazing that Cooper won. It's amazing. Oh, I know. Jon Cooper is good at being interviewed. Is Lindy Ruff not? Is there a meaningful difference there? Like, oh, Jon Cooper. He seems like a doll. I can even go up to him and talk to him right before the gold medal game. Oh, well, they lost. What? Can somebody, I can't go back to Rob Schneider. Can somebody explain it in an intelligent way? I mean, it's hockey, so maybe this will just never happen, and it's Buffalo, so maybe this especially will never happen. Is this a story other than just like me and you? And Sam Panayotovich? Is this a story to anybody else? Does anybody care? Is ESPN going to talk about it? Is anybody going to talk about it? Is it going to be on Pat McAfee or Barstool or one of these idiot shows like that? Is it going to be on anything that people watch? Wow, how did this happen? If it were a different sport, it would be pretty good, I think. But it's hockey, and maybe it just doesn't rate. I don't know. This is just one of those days where I really can't. I don't know how to breathe. It seems really confusing. It's a Buffalo thing. It's a hockey thing, which doubly makes it irrelevant to most of the world. And I don't know what to say about it other than like what were any reasons why you would have considered Jon Cooper to have had a better coaching year than Lindy Ruff? Is there one? Did there have to be 5? Is there one? What is it? Did somebody get hurt on Tampa? I mean, was that a thing? Man games lost? Was that a thing? The Sabres were pretty good. If you take Kulik out, the Sabres were pretty good in that area. Like all their top guys pretty much played the whole time. Was that, oh, well, the Sabres were healthy? I'm completely flabbergasted by it. I don't know. Ray is next. Hi, Ray.
Hi, Mike. Let me make a comparison this way. I'll tell you right now, if whoever the New York Jets head coach is, if they make the playoffs and they win a playoff game, I know playoffs don't count, but if they get to the playoffs, he's my coach of the year because the Jets are expected to do nothing. They've been nothing for 15 years like the Sabres. I mean, Cooper gets rewarded because he should have won, and he's got an MVP candidate every year, which, if he had a great year, fine, but how can you deny everybody? I like to go back to the preseason guesses and bets of where the Sabres would have finished. They came out of nowhere with they had some good players, but not stars, decent players, a Norris candidate. But my gosh, I mean, Ruff will never win it again unless the same logic is like, okay, he's due. That's silly. It's backwards logic. Just because somebody's due or they should have won it in the past, that does not make you qualified. And if all these percentages of Ruff was the favorite, 80-some% or whatever it was, what changed?
97.
Head-to-head? 90. Okay, even more so. You made a great point. Head-to-head, they played him when it mattered most. I know the players have to do it, but the coach is the leader. It's stupid. It's stupid. So,
I don't know. Thanks, Ray. 97%. Sam was the second person who I found out about this from. He's like, he was minus 3,000. Forget that we like the Sabres. When does that happen? If anybody follows awards and odds, both, there's a reason why he was minus 3,000. Because it was obvious. Like, of course he was going to win. The Heisman Trophy, Mendoza might have been, along the way, probably got even higher, but minus 3,000, minus 5,000, minus 10,000. Like, you cannot bet against that because it's just throwing money into a fire. Yet, this time, it worked out. I don't know. Lindy Ruff has won this award. He's top 5 all time in wins. He has re-established himself in Buffalo as well as around the NHL as a top coach with what happened this year, which was miraculous almost. And, hopefully that's enough for him. We're not friends. I got to think, I get older and a lot of this stuff means less to me as I do. And I'm sure he cared, needless to say, deeply about the Sabres, run and their eventual defeat and everything like that. I don't know if he cared about this award. He's won it. He finished second 3 years ago when coaching the Devils. He's won it. So hopefully he doesn't lose sleep, but I can't believe it. Just from a standpoint of somebody that likes to care about awards, honors, Pro Bowl appearances. I mean, I know how thin that runs, but I think that stuff should be taken at least a little bit seriously. I can't believe this wasn't taken seriously by voters. I just have no idea how they decided this way. And it's not all of the utmost seriousness, but there's a reason why it's there, because people care about it. Sometimes there's money on the line for the players, for the coaches, for bettors. There's money on the line on it. And so that's part of it. But really it's about legacy and a player's number of all-star games, a player's number of MVPs, a coach's number of these awards that goes on the page. It's part of your bio. You get introduced at the Hall of Fame, and this is what's said, and that all just helps it, make sense and everything like that. How does this make any sense? Well, I don't know how many different ways to say it. I think it's incredible. And yeah, I mean, there go the new shoes for the kids, I guess. I mean, they'll just have to walk around barefoot all summer. Sorry, kids. Tomorrow I'll bring some cards in and try to sell them to you. so I can atone for this shocking defeat. 803-0550. Sal Capaccio today. Matt Waldman today as well. Thanks for listening. Bulldog is off.